Happy New Year, everybody. Wow. Welcome to 2022 and welcome to Saturday night for you, the Global Peace Tribe. But now it's our new show. It's the Awakening World. And for tonight, we are really excited to really be bringing in the next level, next evolution of our work in supporting you, the Global Peace Tribe. And we're going to make it much, much more interactive. So I'm still going to be doing 3 shows a week, Friday nights, Saturday nights, and Sunday mornings. But now the Friday night show and the Sunday morning show are going to be Zoom meetings, not Zoom webinars, Zoom meetings. And that means that you can show up, you can put your camera on if you wish, and we're going to have much more interaction, much more participation, and even breakout rooms in certain situations. And then likewise for Saturday nights, although we're still going to keep the Zoom webinar format, we're going to make it much more interactive. In fact, this early Zoom room show this morning or this evening is going to be with you. I'm going to read your comments and connect with you. So I want to say, first off, I love it because there are so many of our regulars. I see John and Atira and Trina Joy and Debbie and Phil and Marlene and Connie and so many other people, Lynn and Leaf, Scotty, Mark, you're all here, Marcella, all of our friends that have been coming every week to Saturday Night Live for the Global Peace Tribe. And it's beautiful to see all of you here for this new show. And that means a lot to me because it's a big deal. It's like, wow, it's like we've kind of graduated from elementary school to junior high school or junior high school to high school. And then all of a sudden you see all your friends. It's like, okay, I feel safe. My friends are here. So, and speaking of friends, I am so delighted that I get to have as my co-pilot, my co-host, really the person who's created tonight's show, the magnificent, wonderful Kristin Hoffman. Hi, Kristin.
Hey, Scott. Hello, everyone. It's such an honor to be with you all tonight on the first night of the new year. And I can't wait to weave with you tonight, Scott. We have a fun program, so many beautiful guests, and it's going to be the perfect way to tune in together and begin 2022.
Absolutely. And I want to right off the bat get into what does it mean, the awakening world? So I want to invite all the people. I see we've got about 60 people with us right now. Please tell us where you're from. We always enjoy like Mark from San Diego. But also, what does the awakening world mean to each of you? And I'm going to read your comments, but I'm going to start by turning it over to Kristin with that question. What does the awakening world mean to you, Kristin?
Well, especially at this time in our evolution as a planet, I feel like the awakening world has taken on a most important meaning. To me, I see at this time that we are literally tuning in together. Like we've felt that alarm bell go off. Oh, and we're waking up and realizing, oh, other people are waking up and they're looking around. And we have this opportunity in this moment to discover our sacred coherence and really learn to harmonize together as we evolve. So we have this incredible chance to tune in, listen together, get that wake up energy flowing, and really start to make a difference, a planetary difference, and a difference in each one of our lives. And I'm just so excited to wake up with you all. I think now is for sure the time that we have been waiting for, and we are the ones to wake up together.
Beautiful. I am going to call upon the wild Abbott Jerry and any of the other people that are in our Zoom room, Debbie Johnson, Guinevere, if any of you want to speak, and I'll put the spotlight on you about what you have to say about the awakening world, just let me know by sending me a message in the chat box that you would like to share your thoughts about the awakening world. Right off the bat, Dia writes, Kristin, I love you. I think of you as I play and I sing. You have freed me with inspired, precious, talented being. You have freed my voice. Thank you for sharing yourself.
Oh, thank you so much, Dia. I love you so much, and I couldn't be more grateful to know that as you're singing, we're singing together. We are really singing together, and you're singing in me as I'm singing.
Um, and yes, a, a big yes to you, Ben. Um, Wild Habit Jerry, I'm going to put the spotlight on you. I hope you have a good internet connection tonight. Would love to hear what you have to say about the awakening world.
Well, to pick up on the beautiful thought that Kristen just made of the alarm bells, I think this whole team that's on our show every week is all saying yes to harmonizing to the great plan as it unfolds through us as we birth, as you often talk about, the imaginal cells, birthing the new, whatever we're going to call it. We don't really know what it's going to be, but it's a great honor to serve and to be part of that awakening together.
Beautiful. Thank you. And if anybody doesn't know by now, Jerry is the abbot of the Mystic Monastery, 10,000 acres, an ecclesiastic nation in Puerto Rico. You can see that beautiful vision of it. And Jerry, you're still receiving people that want to come down and be of service. Tell us a little bit about that for a minute.
Sure, we're very open to people who feel as sometimes the musicians talk about a G string on the guitar vibrating another G string. So the other G strings in our God strings in our chorus here on Saturday Night Live, if you're excited about the mission of repairing a brand new, you might say, culture of young people who are prepared and equipped as the best healers and saints of our new period of time on earth. Come join us. I'll put in chat my email.
Great. Thank you, Jerry. Thanks for always being with us. We love you so much.
Yes, love you too.
Love you, Jerry. I'm packing my bags now.
We are going to do a show from Puerto Rico at some point. So maybe you'll be my co-host on that one. I would love that.
Oh, please count me in.
Have you been to Puerto Rico?
I have. It's glorious.
All right, I'm going to start reading some of the comments from people. And likewise, if I miss one that you see, please feel free to jump in. And it's wonderful to see that we've got people from all over the country again, actually all over the world. I'm going to start with a comment from Steve Rubin. He says, and again, we want to hear from you. What does the awakening world mean? And Steve writes, waking from fear and focus on COVID and turning into the more beautiful world that our hearts know is possible. So thank you, Amy and Steve, for that. Janet, one of our regulars from Spanish Fork, writes, the reality of how we have been manipulated and controlled, understanding our own sovereignty. Eleanor, love to hear from you. She's sending us lots of loving support from her spiritual IV tube in Vancouver Island. So beautiful. Guru Nam Khalsa writes, and this is something I think many of you can relate to. Many of us came in with a vision, a knowing that we could be living in much more love, harmony, and connection. But normal life did not reflect this knowing. Our connection is real. We are from the one. That's beautiful. And I bet many people can relate to that. You know, we came in and you kind of know, first you start to, as a kid, it's like, wow, this is kind of a crazy world. What am I doing here? And then there's this sense of we're here for a purpose. We're here for a reason. And I think that this time in life is that reason. This really is the time we've been preparing for. I'll read one more and then I'd love for my partner, Kristen, to read a few. I'll read Mark's. Mark writes, and thank you, Mark, from San Diego, one of our regulars. Mark writes, those of us who have been conscious of awakening in our lives have been at the forefront. We've been aware of the profound need to evolve all of our life. It is our time to help show the way to those who now know that awakening is imperative to our survival. Let us lead them in love and understanding. Beautiful, Mark. Beautiful.
Beautiful. Bonnie Lee says, meaning of the awakening world. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Indeed, indeed. Percy, awakening to me would be about realizing the connection between all living things, our independence and interdependence, and our ability to work with each other instead of against each other, and to laugh with each other instead of at each other. There's no problem that can't be solved if we work together in compassion and respect. Oh, so beautifully shared, Percy. I couldn't agree more. Nora says, imagining the world as we want to see it. Yes. We've got to use our vision and tune in together. Frody, am I saying this? I hope I'm saying your name right. Magical love from a misty, snowy Norway. Oh, yes. Hello, hello. Ascension. Marlene says ascension. And then Omashar. Omashar, hello, dear one. Awakening to the divine light that we are and allowing it to transform our consciousness from the inside out. Beautiful. I'm so glad you're here, Omashar. You want to
Robin,
read a few more, Scott?
yeah, Robin is right with us. She's actually part of our support team. I'm going to put, Robin, do you want to say it out loud? I'm going to put the spotlight on Robin for a moment since she's here. You just need to unmute.
Okay, unmute. Hi, everybody.
Hey, Robin. So good to have you with us.
I just love all of you and everything, everybody being live every week. I appreciate all of you and Happy New Year's. Thank you. Thank you so much. And you guys are the awakening world, and you're showing us what it means to listen to the waymakers and the thought leaders. It's, you know, so important, can change your life. What we're focusing on every week, you're going to change the world.
Thank you. And thank you for your support, Robin. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Robin.
Thank you all.
Now we're hearing from many of you, which is wonderful. Phil writes, the awakening world means tuning within with the greater world to harmonize and all sing together the song of true love, kindness, authenticity, awareness, hope, and heaven. Kristin, you want to read a few?
Sure. Let's see. Terry says, Happy New Year from Cape Cod, Mermaid. Terry Russo zooming in from San Jose, California. Hello. Let's see. I think that was a message to Jerry from Dia. And I think we've gotten them. Oh, Janet. We missed Janet. Janet said unity versus division. So key. So key. And how can we look for these opportunities in our daily lives to see where we might be labeling someone as other or something as other? And how can we use these daily little triggers as opportunities for us to practice bridging and evolving our own understanding of love and togetherness? Oh, here's some more. Compassion always. Breathe before reacting. Yes, yes, yes. So important. Breathe before reacting. Foundations based on truth, honesty, integrity, and transparency, says Janet. Thank you, Janet.
You know,
Beautiful.
speaking of evolution, Kristin, I want to talk a little bit more about how we're evolving with the awakening world. And we chose this title because I want to acknowledge it's a hard time out there for a lot of people. Birth is not comfortable. Birth is messy. There are labor pains, and we are experiencing labor pains. And so we wanted to make sure that we're reminding people that there's an awakening going on. And so finding that balance of having empathy for the very real discomfort that people are having, whether, I mean, I don't need to name all the ways that people are having discomfort right now. And the discomfort's real, and we want to have empathy for that. And we also want to remain focused on why this is happening. And we must evolve. Humanity cannot continue on the track that we were on. We were headed 70 miles an hour for a cliff. And I think most of us now have experienced climate change. Most of us have experienced the ways that humanity was not living life in a sustainable way. And there's a lot of really big changes that need to happen in order for us to be sustainable in our environmental practices and in our relationships. And we're really going to be focusing a lot on relationship during this Awakening World series, our relationship to the earth and our relationship to each other and our relationship to ourselves and our relationship to whatever you like to call it, life, God, the divine, the sacred. Really going to be focusing on how can we improve our relationships. So that's a big part of what we're going to be doing. And so, whereas up until now, all the shows have been pretty much, they've all been webinars where you'd see Kristin and Scott or whoever the presenters were. But now with the Friday nights and the Sunday mornings being Zoom meetings, and as you see in our early show, incorporating and really reading what you have to say, we want to hear from you. We are building now this global peace tribe. And each and every one of you who hears my voice right now is just as important as Kristin or Sister Jenna or any of the people you're going to see tonight. All of you are important. Now, some of you may not want your voices to be heard. Some of you might be more shy, and that's okay too. You're always welcome to just watch if that's what you'd like. But we also want to create more inclusion. So that's a big part of what we're going to be doing.
So beautiful. I'm excited, Scott. I think this title just really holds a very high vibration, and it feels right moving forward. It really does. It feels so right. And just celebrating this opportunity that we have starting today where everything's so fresh and new. You know, it is another day today as we step into this new awakening world of 2022. It's just another day, and yet it is it holds an special energetic vibration in that it allows us to kind of tap into the metaphor of new beginnings and really feel, okay, can I let go of the heavy stuff I've been carrying, and can I let go of the sorrow, and can I actually give myself permission to press the begin again button? And I think that's the beauty of this day that makes it different from other days. We grant ourselves that permission. And can we learn to grant ourselves that permission every day? I think that's a great question to ask as we're awakening together. Can we wake up every day and be willing to let go of the grudges, the judgments, the heavy weights, and can we grant ourselves permission to literally step into a new day and start again?
You know, that's beautifully said. And there's a consciousness. It's because it is January 1st, you know, all around the world, everybody is in this awareness of it's a new day, it's a new year. So there's that consciousness as humanity, and we're all feeling it. We're all celebrating in our own unique ways, and we're all making whatever resolutions. And I think in our final 6 minutes, I want to share one of my New Year's resolutions, and I would love for any of you in the chat box to share your New Year if you have New Year's resolutions. Mine is that I'm very concerned about what I'm calling the social media civil war, or the social media world war that's taking place, where we are all living in an echo chamber and the algorithms figure out what you like and what you believe and gives you more of that. So if you are a Democrat, you're getting more Democratic perspective. If you're a Republican, you're getting more Republican perspective. And wherever you stand, whether it's Republican versus Democrat, whether it's vaccination or not vaccination, the algorithms keep feeding us with what we already believe. And it creates this ever-growing polarization because we're collecting all sorts of evidence to support what we already believe. And it keeps us trapped in the right, wrong, good, bad paradigm. And I'm really dedicated, as I know Kristin, and I think probably just about everybody who's on our show, is dedicated to breaking that polarization, breaking that right, wrong, world. That beautiful Rumi saying, beyond the castle walls of right and wrong, good and bad, there is a field. I shall meet you there. And so the awakening world and our shows is that field where we welcome diverse cultures, diverse races, diverse ages, and diverse belief systems. And so my New Year's resolution is every night when I'm kind of doing my check-in with myself of how my day went, I'm going to review where did I go overboard promoting an already existing belief system. And more than that, acknowledge it. Wow, where did I stay stuck in judgment? Where did I judge? Where did I feel self-righteous? And conversely, I want to celebrate where did I open myself to new thoughts? Where did I open myself to new ideas? Where did I listen to someone who thinks differently than I do, but I actually listened and took them in, as opposed to thinking what my rebuttal would be? So that's my New Year's resolution. I'll turn over to Kristin, see if she has any thoughts or if she wants to read anything from the chat.
Well, I've been thinking about this a lot, this idea of resolutions in the context of preparing for the show. And when I was tuning into the title and got this, oh, I'm moving on from New Year's resolutions, let's move into New Year's evolutions. I've been really playing with that concept over the last week or two. And I was thinking that this year I want to just simplify and and commit to a quiet knowingness that I will continue to evolve and meet every moment as it comes from that space of, oh, how can I open more? How can I evolve through this experience? And that will come in many forms. And just knowing that it will come and there will be many great teachers this year. And that my mindset of that evolution mindset is really the most important piece of the puzzle that can carry me through this year in a higher upgraded level than I carried myself with last year. So I just really have that simple commitment to myself this year. Meet every moment from that state of openness and the possibility of, oh, I'm growing, I'm evolving.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm going to put the spotlight for a moment on my partner, Debbie Johnston, just because I really want everybody to give her some love. Debbie is just a huge support person. She's been in charge of all our volunteers. She's now my right-hand person moving things forward. So welcome, Debbie.
Welcome, everyone. So amazingly happy to be with you all on January 1st, the start of our new show together and creating together the awakening world. So just blessed to be a partner with all of you. And man, I just can't wait to see what the year holds for us. So thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. It's so good to have you as my right hand. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Debbie. Thanks for all you do.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
We're going to start in a minute. Just want to remind everybody, tomorrow morning is my Sacred Sunday show. And again, it's going to be a Zoom meeting. So we want to do that and to participate for us to be able to hear you. And I need to mute. There we go. So yeah, come join us. Reverend Bridge Feltus is going to be one of our revolving co-hosts. And Katrina Valancourt, who's the co-founder of Love Coach Academy, one of my oldest and dearest friends. And we're going to be facilitating a conversation going deeper into what Kristin and I started today with. What does the awakening world mean? So please join us tomorrow morning for that show. That's at 10 o'clock California time, 1 o'clock Eastern. So many other comments that came in, I didn't get a chance to read, but I want to thank Terry Russo and Phil, Marco, Christy Michaels. We're doing a big event, which I'll talk about later today, with Christy Michaels on January 6th. Jeff Colebrook. So a lot of you, we didn't get a chance to read what you wrote, but it's in the chat box. And a reminder, if anybody wants to get the chat box, we haven't been able to figure out why some of you can save it and some of you can't. But if any of you cannot save the chat, send me a Facebook private message tomorrow and I'll send it to you that way. It's 6 o'clock, so I'm going to stop recording the early show here.